Welcome to this explainer. Today we're totally tearing down the traditional myths of wealth, and we're going to be using the exact principles from MJ DeMarco's groundbreaking book, The Millionaire Fast Lane. So, if you've ever felt like the standard advice for getting rich is, well, just a relentless treadmill leading absolutely nowhere, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to deconstruct exactly how wealth is engineered in the modern world.
Let's just start with a massive paradigm shift. What if literally everything you were taught about wealth is actually a trap? Seriously, think about it for a second. Go to school, get a safe job, save a tiny fraction of your paycheck for 50 years. It's a rigged game. It relies entirely on this magical, distant future that is guaranteed to absolutely no one.
So we have to accept a pretty painful truth here. The traditional system is essentially the great financial lie. It's perfectly designed to keep you financially stuck, constantly exhausted, and permanently dependent on an employer. The lie promises that if you trade the absolute most energetic years of your life for a predictable paycheck, you might eventually enjoy your twilight years. But let's actually look at the grim reality of the math behind this lie.
That is 40 long years. That's the immense amount of your finite, completely irreplaceable time you're expected to sacrifice in a 9-to-5 job, just hoping for a decent retirement. 40 years of alarms, commutes, and trading hours for dollars. It's kind of terrifying when you realize time is the one resource in the universe you can never, ever earn back.
To break free from this terrifying equation, we have to analyze the three distinct financial roads people travel. The Millionaire Fast Lane argues that every single financial decision places you on one of these three paths. Identifying your current road, well, that's step one of the escape.
First up, we have the sidewalk. The sidewalk is the path of zero financial control, where people are always just one crisis away from going entirely broke. It's living paycheck to paycheck, prioritizing immediate gratification over future security. And here's the really fascinating part. Sidewalkers might actually earn a high income. Think of a highly paid doctor or a pro athlete. But their wealth is a total illusion because their lifestyle scales instantly with their earnings. They are literally one bad month away from zero.
Next, we find where most people live. The slow lane. This is the trap most ambitious professionals fall into, sacrificing today for a promise tomorrow. You clip coupons, put 10% in an index fund, and wait decades. But your wealth has a hard, unbreakable ceiling. Why? Because your income is mathematically tied to your time, and you only have 24 hours in a day.
But here is where the rules completely change. The fast lane is about taking total control and engineering wealth through rapid business creation. It's about building digital businesses and using incredible leverage to just completely decouple wealth generation from your time. Fastlaners do not trade hours for dollars. Instead, they build value-producing engines that run 24/7, whether they're in a boardroom, sleeping, or traveling the world.
The contrast is stark. The slow lane relies on hope and time, while the fast lane relies on mathematics and leverage. In the slow lane, you're hoping the stock market goes up and hoping you don't get downsized. In the fast lane, you're engineering a scalable system. You replace the harsh limitations of a salary with infinite potential. And that brings us to the ultimate secret weapon of the wealthy, the relentless pursuit of leverage. Leverage is the fulcrum that lifts massive wealth. In the slow lane, your leverage is just yourself, which is inherently limited, right? But in the fast lane, your leverage is the system you build. It's code written once that serves millions, or maybe a global supply chain moving products while you sleep.
So the crucial question is this: how do you actually decouple your income from the clock? If you want to escape the trap, you have to ask yourself how to build a system, like e-commerce, software, or media, that works relentlessly in the background. Because if your business requires you to physically be there for it to make a single dollar, you don't own a business. You just own a very demanding, high-risk job. To actually build true leverage, DeMarco introduces a mechanical blueprint called the Next Framework. These are the 5 commandments of wealth. Violate these, and you're likely just building yourself another slow lane job. Let's deconstruct exactly how this framework builds an unbreakable foundation for financial freedom.
The first commandment is N for need. And here is the brutal truth. The market absolutely does not care about your passions. It only cares about what it needs. You have to stop chasing money and chasing what you love to do. If you can solve a massive problem, relieve a pain point, or make people's lives significantly easier, the money will naturally follow as a byproduct of the value you provide. Next is E for entry. Entry refers to the barrier to starting your business. If a business is too easy to start, like say filling out a 5-minute online form to join a multi-level marketing scheme, the market is going to be flooded with competition.
You want high barriers to entry to protect your wealth. The harder it is to build your system, the less competition you'll have and the more valuable your enterprise becomes.
Which brings us to C for control. You absolutely must drive the bus. If you're building on someone else's platform where a single supplier or a social media algorithm can destroy your business overnight with a policy change, you're hitchhiking, you're not driving. Fastlaners own their brand and dictate their terms. Never give the keys to your financial vehicle to someone else.
Next is S for scale. This is the absolute mathematical truth of the fast lane. It's the law of affection. To make millions, you must impact millions. A local coffee shop is severely limited by its neighborhood. But software, an information product, or a global e-commerce brand, those can scale infinitely with almost zero extra costs per customer. Scale is where explosive wealth is born.
Finally, T for time. This is the ultimate test. Your business must eventually operate entirely independent of your personal hours. It needs to become a money tree. If your enterprise cannot survive without you grinding away every single day, it violates this commandment. The whole goal is a self-sustaining ecosystem that generates cash flow while you're completely detached.
As we look at these commandments, remember the ultimate underlying truth that drives this entire philosophy. Your time is vastly more valuable than money. Money is an infinite resource, but time is strictly finite. You can always start another business, you can always earn another dollar, but you can never, ever manufacture another minute of your life. The fast lane is simply the vehicle designed to buy your time back.
So, how do you actually apply this high-level theory starting today? Because understanding the mechanics is great, but execution is the only thing that separates dreamers from the architects of true wealth. Let's look at how to initiate that shift.
Here is your immediate blueprint for escaping the traditional grind. First, you have to consciously decide to stop trading time for money. Second, aggressively scan the world for inefficiencies and massive problems to solve. And third, commit to the difficult, front-loaded work of building a scalable system around that solution. This single quote brilliantly captures the ultimate mindset shift required to build wealth. Stop being a consumer and start being a producer. Right now, the vast majority of society interacts with the world purely as consumers. They buy the products, they binge the content, and they subscribe to the software.
But to win in the modern economy, you have to cross over from the side that buys to the side that creates. The consumer spends their limited time and money. The producer builds the systems, invents the products, and sells the solutions. Whenever you encounter a problem, you can no longer ask what you can buy to fix it. Instead, you have to ask what you can build to solve it for everyone else.
I want to leave you with this final thought as we wrap up this explainer. The road you choose from here is going to define the rest of your life. Will you stay stuck in the slow lane, trading your absolute best years for a gamble on the future? Or will you do the transformative work to build your fast lane, reclaim your time, and write your own rules? The math is clear, the choice is yours. Keep building.